Press release for immediate release, October 5th, 2025. Contact Miss Immigrant USA. Email missimmigrantusa@gmail.com. Instagram Miss Immigrant USA. Please open your app to see this link. Location, New York, NY. Miss Immigrant USA is challenging silence and an elected official, New York, NY. October 5th, 2025. Miss Immigrant USA founders Shahar and Magdalena Kulisz continue their federal civil rights action. Kenan Kulisz vs. Raga et al., now pending in the Eastern District of New York, case number 125 CV 04893 PK. Although the case began with an incident involving a public official, its meaning reaches far beyond one person. This is not a political challenge, it is a constitutional one. The plaintiffs are challenging the misuse of authority that silences immigrant voices and testing whether American democracy still protects the right to say, open quote, I am an immigrant. Close quote. After the Southern District of New York transferred the case on August 22, 2025, the plaintiffs filed a motion to retransfer, asking that the matter be returned to Manhattan, where the events began and where it was originally filed. The motion, supported by 4 exhibits and an amended complaint, has been fully submitted since September 18th and awaits judicial decision as of October 5th. The plaintiffs also declined consent to a magistrate judge, requesting that an Article III district judge preside, given the constitutional and national interest dimensions of the case. The amended complaint, a new cause of action for immigrant identity. As part of that motion, the plaintiffs also filed an amended complaint, formally adding a newly recognized cause of action, suppression of immigrant identity. This amendment represents a constitutional discovery within the case, that immigrant is not merely a demographic status, but a civic identity deserving protection under the First and 14th Amendments. The plaintiffs assert that discrimination or retaliation based on one's public declaration of being an immigrant violates the same principles that protect religion, ethnicity, and political belief. This new cause of action, the immigrant identity claim, marks a historic legal first, expanding the national conversation on equality, belonging, and democracy in America. Why the defendants had yet been served? When the case was first filed, the Southern District granted the plaintiffs' request to proceed in forma pauperis on August 22, 2025, allowing them to move forward without paying filing fees. Under Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 4C, verse 3, and 28 U.S.C. 1950, once that status is granted, the court, not the plaintiffs, must issue the summons and direct the U.S. Marshals Service to serve the defendants. Because the case was transferred before the clerk completed that process, and because the Eastern District is still reviewing pending motions, the summonses have not yet been released for service. This is a standard procedural delay caused by the transfer, not by inaction. The court will issue the summonses after resolving the pending motions, at which time the U.S. Marshals will serve the defendants. The filing further explains that the transfer was executed prematurely, 2 days before the 14-day reconsideration period expired, interrupting due process and ADA accommodation rights. The plaintiffs maintain that venue properly lies in the Southern District, where the December 11 Zoom meeting, the statements, and the resulting harm all occurred. Media coverage and constitutional meaning. Recently, the Philippine Daily Mirror published a detailed report on the case, highlighting its constitutional implications and quoting Miss Immigrant USA's position that immigrant should be recognized as a protected civic identity. While the defendant's office declined to comment on pending litigation, Miss Immigrant USA reaffirmed that this case is not about one person. It is about a principle. The organization's founders emphasize that the challenge is directed at the silence of systems that fail to protect identity, not at individuals. Their goal is to remind institutions that democracy is measured by how it treats those who speak from its margins. At this stage, it is normal that the court has not ruled yet. Federal judges often take several weeks to address jurisdictional motions. Miss Immigrant USA's founders remain patient but vigilant, viewing this case as part of a larger national test of equality, access, and truth. This is the first of many updates over the coming months. Followers will see legal filings and progress reports, educational breakdowns of rights and retaliation, behind-the-scenes stories, personal testimonies from people who said, "I choose immigrant." What you can do now, Miss Immigrant USA cannot carry this case alone. We are calling for help, real help. If you are reading this, we need you to stand with us, to join the board and the class action that will represent the public interest, not just the founders or the organization. This is not about us. It is about all of us. We are giving this stage to the people. Declare and volunteer to serve on the board or as class action representative. Bring your skills. Email missimmigrantUSA@gmail.com or DM us on Instagram. Share this update with someone who believes in democracy and the right to identity. Miss Immigrant USA will also be sending letters to the governor of New York, the mayor of New York City, and the U.S. Department of Justice, urging them to review the record and join in defense of constitutional and democratic rights, as they are obligated to do under the law. Our mission remains unchanged: to defend immigrant identity, free expression, democracy, and equal protection under the law, and to remind every institution, from the courthouse to the classroom, that the promise of America belongs to all who call it home.